Welcome to today's episode of Unstoppable You. In this episode, we delve into the life and career of one of the greatest boxers to ever live, Muhammad Ali. Not only was he a champion in the ring, but he also exemplified the true power of self-belief. Ali's rise to greatness wasn't just about his skills. It was about the unwavering belief in himself, even when the world doubted him. But what made Muhammad Ali truly unstoppable wasn't just his punches. It was his confidence, his mental strength, and his absolute conviction that he was the greatest. Today we'll look deeper into his life, his journey, and how his self-belief transformed him from a young man with a dream to a global icon. Early years, the birth of a champion. Muhammad Ali was born Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. on January 17, 1942, in Louisville, Kentucky, in a time when segregation was still a harsh reality in America. Raised in a time of racial discrimination, young Cassius Clay had every reason to doubt his chances of succeeding in the world. But that didn't stop him. From a young age, he displayed an incredible sense of self-worth that would shape his future. At the age of 12, after his bike was stolen, Cassius Clay made a decision that would change his life forever. He walked into a gym and told trainer Joe Martin that he wanted to learn how to box so he could whoop the guy who stole my bike. What started as a desire for revenge transformed into a relentless pursuit of greatness in boxing. What set Ali apart from others was his self-belief. While other boxers practiced their punches, Ali spent his time working on his mindset. He would often proclaim, "I am the greatest," and his conviction was never in question. To the world, this may have seemed like arrogance, but to Ali, it was simple truth. He wasn't just repeating words. He was conditioning his mind to believe in the vision of himself as the greatest boxer in the world. The importance of mental strength, boxing and beyond. Muhammad Ali's boxing talent was extraordinary, but it wasn't his punches that made him an icon. It was his mind. Boxing is a sport that demands both physical and mental strength, and Ali understood this better than anyone. Self-belief became his most powerful weapon in the ring. One of his most famous quotes is, "I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." This encapsulated his mindset. He didn't just fight to win, he fought to prove to himself and to the world that he was worthy of greatness. Ali's mental approach was unparalleled. His belief in his own abilities meant that, despite setbacks, he never wavered. Ali famously referred to his ability to float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. This wasn't just physical agility. It was a declaration of his self-belief in his skills. When you believe in yourself, you push beyond the limits. Ali's ability to perform in the ring was matched by his audacity to push boundaries, never shrinking in the face of a challenge. The power of words, confidence, and charisma. In addition to his athleticism, Ali's charisma and confidence were instrumental in his rise to fame. He didn't just back up his words with actions. He used his words to fuel his success. Ali was known for his bold statements, which ranged from confident self-promotion to profound social commentary. Many of Ali's most memorable quotes are not only a testament to his confidence, but also his unshakable self-belief. He once said, "I am the greatest. I said that even before I knew I was." This was the foundation of his journey, speaking victory into existence long before it was achieved. This attitude of self-assurance encouraged countless others to believe in their own potential. His famous taunts and playful jabs at his opponents were part of his strategy to mentally break them down. But it wasn't just about getting into his opponent's head. It was about reminding himself of his own greatness every time he said it. He wasn't just bragging. He was reaffirming his belief that he was destined for greatness, and he spoke that reality into existence. The courage to stand for what you believe. Beyond the boxing ring, Ali's self-belief led him to become a cultural and political icon. At the height of his career, when he was drafted into the Vietnam War, he made a decision that would forever change the trajectory of his life. Ali refused to serve, citing his religious beliefs in opposition to the war. His famous statement, "I ain't got no quarrel with them, Viet Cong. No Viet Cong ever called me nigger," was a bold declaration of standing for what he believed in, no matter the consequences. His stance cost him the prime years of his career. He was stripped of his boxing titles and faced public backlash. But Ali stood firm, unshaken in his belief that the fight for justice was bigger than his career. The same self-belief that made him an unstoppable athlete also made him an unstoppable force for social change. He believed in his purpose, in his voice, and in his right to stand up for what was right. Ali's legacy, the ultimate lesson in self-belief. Muhammad Ali's story is a masterclass in the power of self-belief. He didn't let the world's opinions define him. He didn't let failure, fear, or obstacles dictate his success. Through his words, his actions, and his sheer determination, Ali showed us that to be unstoppable, you must first believe in your own potential, even when others don't. His legacy is a reminder that self-belief is not about arrogance, but about owning your worth and trusting in your capabilities. Whether you're facing your own personal battles or striving to achieve greatness, Ali's story teaches us that confidence, perseverance, and vision are the true keys to breaking through any limit. Conclusion. So next time you feel doubt creeping in or face a challenge that seems too big to overcome, think of Muhammad Ali. Remember his words, "I am the greatest," and know that, like him, you too have the power to break through every limit standing in your way. All it takes is the belief that you are destined for greatness and the courage to keep going, no matter what. Thank you for tuning into Unstoppable You. And remember, your belief in yourself is the first step towards becoming unstoppable.